For just a moment, imagine a paperless classroom. How would that look? No pencil, no paper, no pen. Only a laptop, a Chromebook, and an iPad. Now wait, I know, as an educator, you're like, wait, no paper? Well, an article entitled Starting with Paperless Classroom suggests that the two most obvious benefits of starting a paperless classroom are smaller cost and less time printing. Printing out endless numbers of assignments, homework, exams can be very cumbersome and exhausting work. Not to mention the cost of paper, ink, and maintenance can add up to enormous amounts of money. Average American schools pay $25,000 annually just on paper alone. So starting to implement this process could actually help the classroom. But I hear you thinking, well, we teach sixth graders, so isn't this too early? Absolutely not. As I think of my 3-year-old grandbaby, Averly, and the fact that she owns her own iPad, I watch in amazement as she actually opens the iPad, put in her password, and then so effortlessly choose different apps and games to play. Then I watch my 11-year-old completely and efficiently execute the ordering and the purchasing of an Amazon order. But on the other side of the spectrum, I currently have 6th graders that cannot attach a document to an email, nor do they understand what it means to double space or to use Arial and a 12-point font. As educators, it is our job to shift the paradigm. And as I look forward in time, I can only imagine the level of intelligence and diligence harnessed by this next generation that has so eagerly embraced this new technological world. Now the question here is, as educators, why are we not adequately educating our youth by using the same digital platform and the technology that they so very well relate to? We know that we cannot compete with the internet, especially not with paper and pen. So today, I would like for you to consider swapping out the paper and pen for an iPad and a stylus. And this is how we'll do it. There are 3 things that I want you to consider in making this great leap into future classroom learning. Those 3 things are, first let me tell you this, dictionary.com defines education as the process of receiving or giving systematic instruction, especially in the classroom. But the second stanza of the definition is what caught my undivided attention. The second stanza of dictionary.com defines education as an enlightening experience. Now, there are 3 things that I want you to consider that will help us enlighten the experience of our youth. The first is interactive learning, the second is unlimited resources, and the third is advanced technology skills. So first, let's look at interactive learning. Incorporating a paperless classroom means having textbooks and course materials that is always up to date. This fosters both an interactive and collaborative learning environment. Students network together online, can share information, they can work together on group projects, and they can interact with the teacher. Educational technology allows students to engage in an ongoing cycle of learning before, after, and during the classroom. Secondly, let's talk about the unlimited resources. As a teacher, you probably are very familiar with this scenario. You found a great book in the library, and you want to use it in class, but they don't have 30 copies of the book. So now you have to make copies of this 40-chapter book. So after hours of standing at the copy machine, assembling 30 copies of this 40-page chapter, followed by 30 minutes of stapling, and then another 30 minutes of unstapling because you realize that you have papers in the wrong order, only then to have to go back and staple them again. And then you have a student that either rips up the book or writes something inappropriate on the book, and so now you have to repeat this whole process over again. Well, with paperless classroom, needless hours spent in front of the copy machine is a thing of the past. Simply share the project. So you would drag the document into a shared folder and then presto, that resource is instantly available to all of your students. It's impossible for them to lose it. They can never claim they didn't get it. And best of all, it is accessible whenever they need it. The third thing I would like you to think about is the advanced technology skills. creating presentations and learning to differentiate reliable from unreliable sources on the internet, and maintaining proper online etiquette are all vital parts that kids need to learn in the classroom. Technology skills are must-have if students want to be prepared for almost any career today. Student achievement may boost if they have the means and the knowledge to stay relevant in today's workforce. So, in conclusion, an article written by Goodnote declares that what I wholeheartedly agree with: implementing the classroom paperless process is not going to get rid of our educational crisis. Changes still need to happen at a policy level to completely alleviate the burden of democracy for our educators. But if you implement this classroom policy, it will help that burden. One thing I need us to understand is that it streamlines many of our teaching day-to-day processes, and it frees up hours in our day. In short, the paperless classroom will allow us to focus on the things that we are paid to do, and that is to teach. Danny Mariko wrote in an article entitled 10 Reasons Today Teachers Need Technology in Their Classroom. It says that in almost every part of our culture, technology affects our life, our work, and everything that we do. Lastly, the sad reality is that in most classrooms, student engagement is an all-time low. So as teachers, we have to compete with various distractions like cell phones and tablets and things like this. So I know that you may feel as though using the iPads in classroom can provide for them to be able to cheat or to do other things. And there are different studies that talks about the disadvantages of having iPads and technologies in class. But as we have discussed those 3 items, I guarantee you it will definitely make your classroom more effective. Thank you so very much.